transmitter, and the receiver is homebrew. It's double conversion, and it has R390A mechanical filters in the second IF, and the antenna is nothing but a dipole up about 50 feet. So the antenna is very modest, but it seems to do okay. I'm not a real serious type of operator. If I can make a contact, that's great. If I can't, well, maybe tomorrow. That's sort of how I look at it. And boy, good deal on the rain. I'll tell you, we have, of course, we had a brutal summer here, and I know you guys had your share of weather problems there with all of the rain. We had about 2 months where essentially every day it was 3 digits, and often we were up around 108, 109 degrees, sometimes for days at a time, and no rain at all. Finally, a few weeks ago we started getting a little bit of rain, but we really need some rain bad, and it does look like there's at least a shot at some tomorrow and then later next week. So hopefully as we get farther into the winter and these fronts start pushing through, we'll start getting a little precipitation here, because we could sure use it. You guys need to somehow send it this way. We can use it, and you guys certainly don't need it. K6TOX, this is WA5VGO. K6TOX, this is WA5VGO. Okay, no, I'm actually quite impressed with the way the signal's holding up, Ken, and I'm curious what you're using for an antenna. If you mentioned it, I didn't pick it, I didn't get it, but because you're really doing very well for for your power level. It's really good, and it's a little interesting. Usually around here, my experience, of course, we're in uncharted territories as we move into the winter here with this cycle. But usually, you guys on the West Coast start coming in a lot better in the afternoon, and usually this time of day, we're more inclined to hear the guys from the East Coast. But you're just rocking in here really, really well. And well, so far my best DX here on on 10 meters, and you know, bearing in mind I'm not, you know, it's just not trying to work anything. I'm, like you say, a fair weather kind of guy. You know, if I hear a nice signal, I'll give the guy a call. But I did work Australia long path. That was last winter here on AM, and you know, we talked for I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. It was, now he had I think he had quite a station, I gathered. And I've always been the kind of guy that takes advantage of the other guy's antenna, you know. You get the guys with the big antennas at the other end, and of course it's reciprocal. Not only do they transmit a big signal, but they can pull the weak ones out with it. So but anyway, that was my best DX so far, and that was a lot of fun. Well, I'll tell you what I've been hearing the last 2 or 3 days here on 29 megs, and it's the same guy. I couldn't figure out what it was at first, but it's some kind of a renegade from the criminal band down there on 11 meters, and he's got some sort of a spurious signal. And you can hear him, or I can hear him here in the AM window, and it's, you know, it's all gravelly and rough, and the audio is very difficult to demodulate. It's kind of floating around in frequency. And finally this morning I could hear him in there, and the only thing that gave him away is every time he transmitted, he had one of those silly beep signals, you know, kind of an oddball one. And so while I was hearing him, I switched the other receiver on and listened on 11 meters, and I found him there, and he was pretty darn strong. But I'm sure, you know, he's running some kind of a illegal amplifier, and the darn thing, you know, he's overdriving the daylights out of it, and it probably, on top of all that, it's not stable and full of you know, parasitics, and you know how it is. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of annoying because he's very broad and kind of wavers across the AM window. He's not super strong, but yeah, just enough to be annoying, I guess we'll say. So anyway, good deal on all the other stuff. Yeah, I've been talking to a couple of, I don't know if I've talked to anybody with a DX100 this year, but I have talked to a couple of guys running the Valiants. You know, I'm always amazed. I know that they sold far more DX100s than they did Apaches, and yet it seems like there's a lot more Apaches on the air these days than the DX100s, and I've never understood that because, you know, the Apache's a really good-looking radio, I think. I used to have one. It's a very attractive radio, and it's a nice radio. But I think the DX100 has as much or more going for it, and it also has 160 meters, which, of course, they left out of the Apache. But it just amazes me that you don't hear more of the DX100s on the air. At least we don't around here. K6TOX, this is WA5VGO. WA6TOX. This is WA5VGO. Okay, Ken, good deal. And yeah, I agree with you. You know, Heathkit used some real high-quality parts back in those days. Those are excellent, you know, potted transformers, and it was just a first-class radio. Unfortunately, as they started moving into the 1960s and they started feeling pressure from the manufacturers that were building complete radios, they started cheapening things quite a bit, like the phenolic circuit boards and that sort of stuff, and you know, the second-tier components instead of the top-quality components, cheap plastic meters and that sort of stuff. But, you know, as manufacturing techniques improved, and it became, you know, labor became less of a factor in building something, then it was forcing their hand, and you know, they did the best they could do, and they turned out some good stuff at some good prices. There's no question about that. They certainly they put me on single sideband in the late 1960s with the HW100. There was, you know, I was
WA5AGO, WB5IRI. Hello, Daryl. You still around? WA5AGO, WB5IRI. Yeah, Ken, you're coming in great. You're sounding real good down here as well. About S9. You know, from QSB, the band is taking some deep fades, but then it comes right back up again. So you're sounding good. You know, I was going to try to grab Daryl and see if he had any 6-meter AM equipment, see if we could make it on 6 AM. But apparently he had to go take a break or something there, over. Yeah, 7-3, Ken. Yeah, I know you got to run. And I just was trying to catch Daryl. We're about, maybe 65 miles apart, something like that. And I just was going to see if we could make it on 6 meters. Anyway, take it easy, and have a good day. K6TOX, WB5IRI. WA5EGO, Daryl, you in there? WB5IRI.